This is an important offseason for the Chicago Bears, and while everybody knows that the Bears have to address the offensive line, there are also other needs for the team. Me, Bobby, C-Dub, we're going to discuss those needs all and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. We got Bobby, C-Dub, myself, Hayes, all in the building today. Fellas, we're going to be discussing the Bears' biggest needs this offseason. But because I know people are going to ask, we know the biggest need is by far offensive line. Everybody knows that. But that's going to be something that's talked about ad nauseum this offseason. So we don't want to focus just on that because there are other positions. But I want to ask you guys this one question, fellas. We know that Darnell Wright is probably the only returning starter. There's been some drummed up conversation on, do the Bears need to look to upgrade from Braxton Jones? Or if they upgrade the other three positions on that offensive line, should Braxton Jones return as a starter along with Darnell Wright? How you guys feel about that aspect of the conversation?
Me, I'm gonna be very hypercritical on my guy Braxton Jones. I think he is a decent offensive tackle. I don't think he's cemented himself as a starting offensive tackle for our team. I'm not willing to get rid of him. I think he would be a great depth piece for us, or maybe he can find a spot on another team or something like that. Who knows? But I do not think he's earned and deserved to be the starter for next season for the Chicago Bears. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I look at Braxton Jones. I think I'm probably more higher on him than most people. But it's definitely something I said on yesterday's mailbag it's gonna be interesting to see how Ben Johnson feel about his tackles. But I will say that I have a bit of a caution of Braxton Jones right now, and it's gonna be centered around his injuries. We had the neck injuries a few years ago, and this past season he ended that season with an ankle injury. So those injuries are starting to pile up. Now you can go a number of ways with this. You can say, hey, he's solid. We love him in the run game. Maybe we can work on him a little bit more in our pass game. And then maybe if we give him something solidified next to him as that left guard, which Tevin Jenkins can't find his way to stay there. Do you look at just saying, hey, if we improve the interior, maybe that'll be something that helps Braxton Jones? But I still say you got to bring in some more competition because the injuries are starting to pile up for this guy. And once you start limping into the seasons, you start limping up out of them too. So I think you're going to still have to go out there and put some fire behind him to see if he's going to be ready. And we can't play the what if game. If he's going to be healthy or not, you gotta put some action behind those words and just do your due diligence. And if you feel like Will Campbell is that guy or another prospect coming out of the draft is that guy, you definitely have to explore that option because the injuries are starting to pile up.
I look at it with this when it comes to Braxton. It just comes down to, even if you upgrade all the other positions, you got to bring in, to me, some serious competition for a starting role. And not meaning just you sign a veteran like, oh, they're going to bring in some competition. No, I mean somebody who legitimately has a chance to start at his position next year. And if Braxton wins it out, great. But I think you got a lot of fire under Braxton Jones. And like I've said a lot of times with Braxton, right, it's not that he's terrible, because I don't think Braxton Jones is terrible, but it's that he hasn't improved any in his time in the NFL. And so in that case, I would like to see Braxton personally better as a depth piece, and I want to see somebody else in there as starter. But if we upgrade the rest of the offensive line, I'm also not mad if Braxton's a starter too, if we don't upgrade from him this year. But I think you got to, at the very least, bring in some serious competition for him this year.
Yeah. I just wanted to ask Nephew a question, because you spoke a lot on health. Do you believe his play says that he's the starter for next season?
At least for right now. Obviously we still ways away from the draft and free agency. So I would, I'm giving the nod right now, but I would still tread cautiously with this and look for ways to improve. You know that this offensive line needs to be adjusted and improved. So to Hayes' point, if you feel like there's somebody out there that come in here and challenge him, like legit challenge him for the spot, then you explore that option for sure. But I say right now, I would say they have him penciled in as a starter, but I don't think that's like cemented as you said earlier.
Okay.
But all right, now that we've done our obligatory need to talk about the offensive line, let's talk about other needs for this team. C-Dub, I'll throw it to you first on this one. What other position group or whatever do you think is the biggest need for the Bears this offseason?
Sure. Great question. I'm gonna go running back, edge, wide receiver, and safety in that order.
Okay.
Let's start with the running back. The discourse is about that 10 pick that's gonna happen in the draft. A lot of pundits is putting Genty out there, but I do believe I don't agree with that. Matter of fact, I don't agree with that 10 pick, but I do believe that we do need a new running back over here, and that's just simply because I think that Ben Johnson doesn't think that this running back room is talented enough to run his scheme and type of strategy that he likes to run on offense. So I'm gonna go running back. He needs a more talented running back to run his strategy like he likes to run. And when we talk about edge, it's obvious. You do got my guy Austin out there, but when is he really going to develop? We got to get another young guy up here to add some talent to that other side of the offensive line. I'm talking edge. Some people are talking defensive tackle for some reason. I like Zach Pickens, but we can do something there too. But I think the edge is right after running back. We need to get somebody over there to complement my man Montez Sweat, even though he didn't have the best of years last year. No excuses for him. And on the wide receiver, I think we do need a wide receiver. I have a guy in mind in Xavier Restrepo. I think we need a little scatter butt. Damn, I said scatter butt. Pause. We need a little scatter wide receiver, a little fast, twitchy wide receiver in the slot, because it's most likely going to be Rome and DJ on the flanks. So I think Xavier Restrepo will be perfect. And safety, this is just for safety. I think my man is just Brisker is just too reckless out there, dude. He's not going to stop being the type of player he is. So we need some insurance policy over there. We got to get us a safety in here, bro. What are y'all doing in the chat? Y'all tweaking.
They gang banging in the chat.
They gang banging in the chat. Bulls Daily had to start that shit.
Nah, it wasn't him. It wasn't him.
It wasn't Bulls
him.
Daily.
No,
it wasn't him. But it's crazy. Y'all got
That's
it.
crazy.
But I'm looking at my number one position to go along with a lot of people and what they saying. I'm looking at D tackle or the edge. I think that's one of the most important pieces after the offensive line, is simply because when you look at the Chicago Bears and you say, hey, it's 3rd and 12, why are teams converting? You can't get after the quarterback. Guys are just sitting there and being able to convert these easy 3rd downs, especially how it took place towards the end of the season. I don't know if they feel like DeMarcus Walker's could be that guy next to a Javon Dexter full time to kind of fill that void. Zach Pickens, he's there, but we have not seen much out of him. We had guys come in like a Chris Williams. We even seen towards the end of the season a Jonathan Ford. So I think we need a little bit more juice right there at the D tackle spot. And then also, or you can look into the edge. I see a lot of good prospects out there that can kind of seal up and help out with that run game. And I think that position, whether you go D tackle or edge, you got to be able to shore that up, because if you want to get the best out of TJ Edwards, Tremaine Edmonds in that secondary, you got to be able to push those big boys up front and cause some havoc back there in the backfield for that quarterback. Number 2, I'm looking at the running back position. I think that when you look at time of possession for the Chicago Bears, 18th last year is not a bad spot to be in. But I think that if you are able to establish yourself to not only being, you want some explosiveness, but I also will say that you need some efficiency too. And when you're going against some of these other teams and you face, because you're going against the AFC North this year, and Lamar Jackson don't lose against the NFC. But if you want to have a chance to beat those tough teams over there in the AFC North, you got to be able to keep the ball out of the hands of the quarterback. And you got to be able to take some pressure off your young quarterback so he can develop properly. So I'm going to look at that running back spot. And then I also think that the safety would be right after that for me, Jaquan Brisker. I say you give him a chance to wear the Guardian cap. See if that's something
He
that
gotta
can help.
put it on.
Put the
He gotta
cap
put
on.
it on. That needs to be part of the no, Nick, you gotta wear this Guardian cap.
Oh, the real. Put that thing on and then see what happens. But that's how I'll round out my most important spots. It'll be D tackle, edge, running back, and that third in the safety.
So I'm gonna flip it. I got edge above D tackle, but they're right there neck and neck. And this again, for anybody who's just turning in, offensive line is the first one. We've already talked about that. We've addressed that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But outside of the offensive line, I'm looking at the edge. I think that you got to find a way to get some of that pressure up off Montez Sweat so teams can't double team him. You got to have a presence out there on the edge. I know that we all are very high on Austin Booker. I'm still high on Daniel Hardy as well. But I think you got to bring in somebody right now. That's why I know all the things about Chase Young and the Myles Garrett. I think Khalil Mack is perfect for this team right now. It's a veteran. Sign him to a 2-year deal. By the end of that 2 year, maybe even by the end of the first year, you should know what you're going to have in Austin Booker. But I think you need to bring in somebody who can put up some pressure right now for you. And so I think that defensive end, whether it's draft, whether it's free agency, I think that that's the next one up after offensive line, and then the defensive tackle. After Billings went down, the little bit of run stopping that we had went completely in the toilet. It was done. And so Billings is a really good player, but it can't be all on that. As much as Javon Dexter had an amazing season last year in his second year, he showed really good growth into the fall off overall of that defense. You got to find somebody else at the defensive tackle position. So I think you got to address that. And then even above running back for me, I got safety. Now I do think that running back is going to be addressed before safety because there's a guy, not to get into our mock drafts, but Billy Bowman Jr., who can be gotten in the 5th round. I'm telling y'all right now, if he is a Chicago Bear type player, Billy Bowman Jr. out of Oklahoma. They said he can be getting in the 4th or 5th round. I'm drafting him every day of the week. When you talk about ball hawk, he has the really good instincts. He's a hard hitter. He's somebody that I can see Dennis Allen using, very versatile like he did Jaquan Brisker. But I think you cannot go into another season, even though Jaquan Brisker and Kevin Byard look like a really good 1-2 punch. You got to address that because Kevin Byard's 1 year left on his deal, and Jaquan Brisker is not showing an ability to stay healthy. So safety's right up there for me.
Okay, somebody that I like both of what both of you guys said. Now I want to address this. Somebody put in the comments, I can't find it anymore. Can't find it now. But they said, what about Ian Willer? And I love great stories, and I like, people coming through at the end, beating adversity and coming back and being great. But I don't think we can't afford to gamble on a great story, bro. We must be as absolute as possible with the players that we're going into the next season with. I liked it, the kid last year at running back, but it was unfortunate that he got injured at the end there. And that just happens in sports. I know that we kept him along. He's still attached to the franchise, but I'm not willing to mortgage our future for this kid in a running back position.
Here's my thoughts on Ian Willer. Coming out of Hard Knocks, it seemed like Matt Eberflus was a head coach that had all his shit together. Did that end up being something?
No.
So while Ian Willer may very well be a nice player that you can bring in, that you can develop, I'm not willing to hinge the backfield on whether Ian Willer coming back from a torn ACL is going to be a factor or not. If he comes in and surprises, great. He's going to be here, but you still, I think, need to address it, whether it's in the draft or with a veteran. You got to address the depth there in a different way. If Ian Willer comes out, shows out for you in training camp, great. I'll shut the hell up. But until that point, I don't think you can go into training camp and into the preseason thinking, oh, we good. We got Ian Willer. We're good. I don't think you can do that. You can't bet on that.
I agree with both of you guys because when we go back to Hard Knocks, I remember the damn running back coach like, bro, hit the hole. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
hit the damn hole. Like, be more aggressive going downfield. So I'm with both of you guys. I think that you still got to look at other options, and we don't. Sometimes Guys can bounce back immediately from ACL injuries, or sometime it take another year of being healthy and actually playing before you see a guy, you know what I'm saying, finally start to take step forward. Some injuries are different for all players. He could very well come back, you know what I'm saying, this training camp or this year and, you know, put on a show. But there's always that flip side to it of that he might need a little bit more time. I ain't going to completely, you know what I'm saying, rule him out. But I'm with both of you guys. I would still be drafting a running back or trying to see what the other options are in free agency for sure.
Oh, bro.
And the way that I look at it is this: if Ian Willard comes into training camp, you go through part of this. His deal is not going to be crazy. You go through part of the season. Let's say you draft the running back I want to see the Bears draft, Quinshon Judkins out of OSU. Yes, I'm still on my OSU propaganda. Fuck y'all. But if you do that, and let's say Ian Willard does turn into something for you, cool. Swift, thanks for your 2 years of service. We got 2 young guys here ready to do they thing. Peace out, my boy.
Oh, I ain't mad.
But I'm not willing to bet on it going into the season. Is just what I'm saying. If he proves it, great. But he got to prove it before I'm willing to bet on it.
I like Judkins a lot too, and that's coming from a Michigan fan. I'm just saying.
Wait. Did you just say that, Michigan guy?
Hey, he
How have we been doing this podcast for 3 years? And I didn't know you was a Michigan guy. Next year for the OSU Michigan game, I'm coming up. Then we got to do it. We got to watch it together.
We're gonna have to do something.
We got to. Hey, I have an idea, guys.
Oh God,
here it is. For real. It's for real. It's rational. It's rational, Drip. Can we pick up a backup quarterback undrafted or something like that? I think we need to get rid of Bagent. I mean,
that's what we've done the last 2 years. So yeah, it's definitely possible. We did it with Reed last year. The year before that, we did it with Bagent. So that's definitely a possibility.
I like the kid. I like his talent, but just him being present is causing too much distraction, bro, from the fucking point, bro.
It's causing distraction from people who got ADHD and just are always looking at the next thing. I don't think it's causing any actual distraction. There's nobody who's really talking about football, right? I've not heard one single expert, one single actual shit that's talking about, hey, should Tyson Bagent play over Caleb Williams? That's just the dramatic fans, bro.
Bro, that's so irritating to me, bro. Like, why? That's so irresponsible, bro, as a football fan. Did you see this kid go out there and play? I'm talking about Caleb, a season with this type of shit going on around him. 20-6. That's that's close to a 3-run ratio with turnovers to touchdowns. So come on, bro. I'm just sticking there. Let's get rid of them. That's all I'm saying. Get rid of them.
I don't know. I think that I'm with y'all though. I think Tyson Bagent, me personally, he already put it out there before the season even started that he wants to chance to start somewhere anyway. So I'm like that. I'm like, all right, cool. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I'll be intrigued to see if the Bears are interested in Teddy Bridgewater as a backup. This is a guy who just came off a state championship as a coach, and everywhere he's gone, you know, minus the first few years and the injuries, but as a backup, this man is a serviceable guy, and he's proven that, you know, he's a intelligent quarterback, and I don't think he's going to try to take anything away from Caleb. I think he's going to come in, absolutely do his job, and if Caleb Williams needs some support, he'll give it to him, because I look at what Marcus Mariota was able to provide for Jaden Daniels. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying Teddy is going to absolutely be that, but I think a veteran quarterback who's been through some battles and been through a number of systems could potentially provide Caleb with some good support. You know what I'm saying? Especially when those games get tough. You go speak to that veteran quarterback like a Teddy Bridgewater and say, hey, stay cool, stay yourself, shine when it's time to shine. Same type of thing that Marcus Mariota told Jaden Daniels. I forgot which game, but it was towards the end of the season, and Jaden Daniels went out there and closed out a game. And then all that confidence built up in him, and he found himself in a great spot in the playoffs. I'm hoping that we can eventually do something like that for us.
Look at the great quarterbacks in the history. You are so right, nephew. When you think about Tom Brady, Drew Bledsoe, veteran leadership. When you think about Steve Young, Joe Montana, veteran leadership. Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers. I don't give a fuck what they talking about. They helped each other out on the team. Bro, we don't have that for Caleb Williams. Who are you supposed to go into the locker room and ask Tyson Bagent about what? What is Tyson trying to learn for himself? You make a great point.
All I can say is the people that if you still clamoring for Tyson Bagent to be the starting quarterback, you in line with Ghost of Judah. Is that really the company you want to keep? I'm just saying, is that really the company you want to keep? If you say yes to that, we don't have to talk about nothing else. There's no other football conversation we got to talk about.
Man.
So,
hey, this man BLJ funny as hell.
He's funny.
I'm about to shout out to Tyrod Taylor.
that's hilarious.
Oh my goodness.
But anything else, fellas? Any other needs or anything, man?
I think that's it, bro. To be honest, that wide receiver number 3, I'll add on to my list. I think that's an important thing that you got to look at. I know people are trying to resurrect Tyler Scott. I'm not saying you can't explore the option.
Talk about Tyler,
but I think there's some options out there. C-Dub listed one of them in Restrepo. I think he could be a good addition. But I think there's some other guys out there too that the Bears can look at and see. Because I think I need somebody to take the top off the defense to open up the middle of the field.
That's why I disagree.
I know that I say some crazy shit on here, but hopefully y'all sit with me on this one. Until further notice, and I'm still saying that he can still prove me wrong on this, but until further notice, all of Tyler Scott's potential is just like the girl who tells you how much of a freak she is, and when you finally get her alone, it's just straight missionary.
Born and dry as hell.
Salt and pepper.
They said
I hope that he proves me wrong, but until right now, until further notice, it's all hype, bro. And I'm over the hype with shit. I need some realized access in this motherfucker.
That's Tez Johnson, Steve Owen, and Jacob Pone. I love him as a prospect. I watched his film. He got some nice tape for sure.
Man, everything can't be on the incompetence of the coaching staff and that was over there. This motherfucker couldn't get on the field, bro. Everything ain't on the coaches. They brought Colin Johnson back. He wasn't even with the team for half the season. They brought him back, and he had more playing time than Tyler Scott. We ain't finna be waiting for nobody, bro. Tyler Scott, you ain't along for the ride. You ain't upped your game. You out of here, bro. Fuck. What we owe Tyler Scott? We don't owe him shit. We don't owe him nothing.
I'm with you on that.
Bro, we're talking about we're going into year 3 of Tyler Scott. We ain't seeing shit.
Nothing.
Like I said,
he
can come out and if he proves me wrong, I'll sit there and be like, all right, the kid showed what he needed to show. But until further, no, I'm going into the show. It's the show me season. Yeah. I don't care about no hype around nobody. You got to show it.
Oh,
period.
I think that's
drip. Montez in there too.
He did show it his first year here.
But what about lately, Drip? Come on.
I mean, listen, if that's how you feel, I can't knock you for it, bro.
Montez, you on that docket too. On the real.
So,
yes.
Some gonna have to give, bro.
Yeah, we can't take it. Come on, bro. We crossing all the T's and dotting the I's, bro. You gotta give us something too, bro. We just man, he'll be okay in a couple years. No, fuck that, bro. No, get it right, quick.
Yeah, I would say you gotta find somebody that's gonna be able to help you guys. So you got to find somebody to help you guys. And what's this thing with everybody trying to turn on Cole Kmet now? What's up, man?
Wait, what? People tweaking.
That started towards the end of last season, right? And I think that here's the thing. I'm not saying that there's definitely legitimate criticisms with Cole Kmet.
Sure.
So I want to be clear here. But I think a lot of people are bandwagon people that only look at the box score and don't really realize the fact that out of 17 games, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, y'all hold me accountable. I think you can easily make the case for about 10 of those games he was just not used correctly at all.
Absolutely right.
The real certain games he had no targets.
No targets. What the hell, bro?
Now I'm also tired of seeing big ass Cole Kmet taken down by 5'10" cornerbacks. I'm tired of seeing that too. Yeah. But like you also got to give the man a little bit more burn, right? Like
I go far as to this, Drip. Like in that 4-2, that mini season we had in the beginning of the season. Cole Kmet was a big part of that. When we were 4-2 in the beginning of the season, Cole Kmet was cooking in the beginning of the season.
Then it was a drop off.
And then they said, fuck Cole.
Let me ask y'all this while we're talking about player level confidence. What's the confidence level that you guys have of Tyreek Stevenson going into the next year, considering how his season finished?
That's a great question. It was sort of like roller coaster, like his rookie season. Of course, in his rookie season, he They picked on him, but he learned quick. And this season, the one that just passed, he kind of started off a little rocky, and then it culminated into that big play in the Washington game. And then I think he started to get better at the end of the season. To me, he was okay. He got some turnovers. He made some big plays. I think he was okay. I think he lost confidence. When he started getting better, when Matt Eberflus got fired. I'll tell you that for sure. So I like Tyreek Stevenson. I think he's okay. He's a little crazy, and I like that in my defensive players. A lot of time, he's a little nuts. He can fly off the handle a little bit, but he's physical. He's athletic, and he loves to compete. He can always come play for me, bro.
Yeah, I think it's just the minor stuff, the things that the mental aspect of the game. We know the kid is talented as hell, but I think it's gonna come down to, does he have the mindset to understand that in football or just about every sport, the game ain't over until the fat lady sing, gang. Like, you can celebrate all you want. We see it plenty of times. Guys go crazy celebrating before the game is even over. And then guess what? That last drive, the opposing team goes there. They hit the shot or lead a drive to go and win the game. So I think it's just going to come down to this coaching staff not letting shit fly. We heard all the rumors and the chit chats about the previous regime letting things slide, not holding each other accountable. We hope that this new regime can hold guys accountable and don't let things slide, because those things that you allowed early on, that you tried to cover up as the season went on, at your worst, at the most crucial times, those flaws, they're going to come from the dark and shine in the light. And that's what happened at that Hail Mary play. And then that's what started the tailspin to the disaster for the Chicago Bears, because they let so many things slide.
That's a fact.
You could blame it on Matt. I think that decision, it's a big part, Matt, of doing that little weak ass benching for like 2 drafts. That the players like, what kind of stupid shit are you doing? And that's when it started to go downhill, bro. Like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? I think they could have saved the season after that loss.
They very well could,
because those were too good. They went at it. They went back and forth. The game was decided at the end of the game. That's a good game.
I think the thing that you got to realize, C-Dub, and you don't even like, outside of Kendrick Lamar, it's been a very bad year for you dark skinned motherfuckers, bro. I think you just got to realize that.
Yeah, man. No, it ain't, bro. Yeah, you want to say that.
Very,
we always could
for y'all, bro. Very
chocolate is always in season.
Hilarious. Any last thoughts, fellas, before we get up out of here, man?
Yeah, let me go break my pity bank. Gotta go buy me some eggs. Let's go,
bro. Eggs, man. Now you gotta go buy some eggs. You just need to buy a chicken. Just go. It's about to happen. We all finna be Debo's chicken coop here in a minute, bro. Why the hell eggs getting so damn expensive, bro? Like,
these bitches up to $7 up there. Well, what?
Try 8.
Man. If I drive by somebody's house and they got a chicken coop, I'm stealing. I'm
stealing the chicken.
I'm stealing, bro.
You better chain your chicken up.
Motherfucker go get his security systems. It's crazy.
That is hilarious. Bobby, any last thoughts before we out of here, brother?
Yeah, we appreciate y'all. Y'all been showing all this continued support. We appreciate it. It's the off season. We know the off season is one of the best times for Chicago Bears fans. But let's hold this team accountable and continue to surround ourselves with like-minded people, the good like-minded people, to try to make this team better. So not only the offseason will be good, but the damn actual season will be good for us. So Chi-Town up and bet down. Y'all appreciate the love for sure.
Oh,
that's
bro.
a fact. And listen, I'm letting everybody, I love every single one of y'all.
Central.
But if any of you other motherfuckers say claws up, bear down, I'm smacking you. Stop that shit. The fuck, y'all. That sounds like the name of a Tyler Perry show. That shit, y'all.
Oh, the real.
Ain't no fucking claws up, bear down. Love y'all, man. Make sure y'all following us at Chi Bear Central. If there's any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, ChicagoBearCentral@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, 773-242-9336 with the #1 spot for everything Chicago Bears related. And I'm telling y'all right now, the Chicago Bears are drafting at least 2 players from OSU this year. Mark my words.
I got
Peace,
2.
I see